That's the basic economy of this game. Yeah, tanking my economy at the start is pretty much the standard thing I do every game, because I want to build all the turrets to get a strong defense up. Oh, this is an AI wave. They periodically send attacks at you of a single ship type, unless you have certain settings on, because of course there's a setting for it. And this defense is built to take on something quite a bit more substantial than that little assault you saw there, even though it's not even finished yet. Again, AI progress. So AI progress higher means those waves will be more dangerous. Bombers are more dangerous than frigates too, because there are various counters in this game. Bombers counter force fields. Most other units really struggle to take down force fields, but bombers can do it a lot more effectively. So, yeah. Force fields are to get you... first, force fields are nice, but they'll only get you so far. At some point, they're just going to melt, because the AI will have too much stuff. So, while I'm waiting for all that to build, let's take a look at what the second exile is. To Commander Astilius. Commander, during our flight from Sol, I retrieved as many critical files as possible. Secret weapons programs, hidden stronghold planets, that kind of thing. Judging by what our earlier scouts have discovered, it seems the AI already knew about all of those. But one lead remains strong. This wasn't in the normal networks, and I believe I was meant to find it. The recipient knew that I've worked with Dr. Langstrom, after all. Attached file follows. Joshua, the core has escaped. I was too late, and its exodus via the Pyletzan conduit was successful. Artane exposed his position to warn me, and he will be hard-pressed to survive. If he reaches you, heed everything he says. He is the only other one who really studied the exile, and our conflict with his emperor is now quite irrelevant. But if the core's forces reach Sol first, you must ensure a force escapes with this information. The exile was not alone. Instruments at the conduit's control facility recorded the original transit thousands of years ago, and there are clearly two distinct pulses, nearly identical. Those same instruments, during the core's escape, detected a transmission to the Murdoch quadrant. It was an old spire dialect for "we shall not meet again." This is a desperate chance, but may well be our only hope of survival. If this second exile is our enemy's enemy, then perhaps it shall be our blade. I must now follow the core before the way is closed. Farewell. Signature block identity key matches Dr. Richard Langstrom, Duke Greenhaven. End attachment. The message header indicates other attached information, but sadly this is nearly the only piece I could recover. I was not personally involved in the Exile project, headed by Dr. Langstrom and Dr. Artane several years ago. I'm not even supposed to know about it. All I can tell you is that the artifact they were studying led to the breakthrough in galaxy-wide command and control systems that made the AIs possible. But from this message, it doesn't sound like just an artifact, and it sounds like there's another one out there. I did recover two more pieces of Greenhaven's message, the transmission signature and the data from one planet's telemetry arrays on that signal's main direction. We cannot currently isolate the destination, but if we hack an AI command station's telemetry archives, we may be able to triangulate. Simply capturing a planet may be sufficient, but there's a very good chance the AI's safety protocols will automatically wipe such data. So the best bet is to use a hacker for the purpose, while the AI's command station is still intact. Game note. Your galaxy map display's exile filter will show you how many wormhole hops a planet is from the signal destination, if you have the data from that planet. Okay. Well, I guess I need to hack things. So, hacking is up here. You get hacking progress when you get AI progress, so it's sort of bonus you get for getting AI progress. Again, not as good as AI progress is bad. You hack with a hacker. Hackers are, can do a fairly substantial variety of things. Just doing some more scouting here. But apparently in Exile, one of those things. Apparently in Exodian Blade, one of those things is find the Exodian Blade. So, I guess it says how many wormhole jumps away it is, which makes me think I might have to triangulate the position or something? I don't know. I suppose I should just hack somewhere and see what happens. For that, I will need a fleet, and I can't yet get my other favourite unlock, so that will have to... Oh, I should be able to get it shortly. Yes, the poor long-suffering scouts just die again and again and again, scouting every direction. It's what they're for. That's why I set it to build 10 of them, so that every time they come around they rebuild, because I will need to rebuild them a ton of times just to do the early game scouting. Yes. Yeah, so... I don't know, I'd say my sort of AI war play is fairly slow. I tend to pause a lot and carefully consider the situation. I admit I've never gotten the longest game length achievement, but I have taken a fair while for some of my campaigns. Is that 10? So I'm not sure if that's going to make this really boring, in which case I may end up deciding to perhaps have fast-forwarded videos with some post-commentary on them, rather than just doing what I'm doing here and trying to do it live. If I do that, I guess you won't hear me commenting on that. But, I'll see what happens. I don't have a huge amount of free time either, so I don't know how much I'll actually end up doing this, but it seems like an interesting idea. Different way to do things. Yeah, I've played most of the sort of major game settings of this game, which is why I'm saying sort of Exodian Blade is the interesting thing. I've never actually won on the very hardest difficulty, though I have played on it and been reasonably successful. My most successful game came to a grinding halt. I actually did an after action report of it that I kind of stopped when I kind of set some fairly extreme settings, and setting it to Dark Spire with 8 homeworlds at difficulty 10, which resulted in a ludicrous... Oh, that's annoying. A ludicrous number of Dark Spire ships. Oh, I'm out of power. I guess I'm already building a matter converter. It was so ludicrous that it brought my computer to a grinding halt, and I basically gave up on that game for that reason. I think it was a Fallen Spire game as well, so everything was very extreme, and I guess I was kind of asking for it. The game, you get many thousands of ships in this game. This is a tiny starting fleet, and it's 300 ships strong. Which is about the population limit in a lot of games. So you can get a bit of this stuff. So there's nothing interesting on these 2 planets because they're the adjacent planets. And there's never anything interesting on the adjacent 2 planets. It's a design consideration. You don't want massive death machine on the planet right next to you. So they're kind of hard-coded to be weak and uninteresting. Also, I don't have many settings on. Oh, I have lucked out here though. I've got a advanced research station right there, though it also has a fort, which is less lucky. Forts are very difficult to kill in certain circumstances, because they basically will kill anything that doesn't have the polycrystal armor type, which bombers have, but none of my other ships do. So, okay, I'm just going to want to clear out this stuff here. As I say, it's a really weak starting system, so I'll take some casualties, but it's not going to be too big a deal. Maybe I should be a little less lazy and not send in the wrong units to attack the guard post. This guard post does have a force field over it. So, hull types are pretty important in this game because different things have different bonuses against different hulls. So this one has a bonus against light hulls, and my fighters are light hulls, so I probably don't really want them getting involved in this. So I'll just send the everything else to deal with it. Where are my bombards hanging out? They don't really need to... Like, their range is this. I said they were really long range, so they don't really need to go right up to the enemy and risk, you know, taking damage and things. Yeah, at the start of the game, this kind of force field setup is really annoying because you don't really have the firepower you need to actually break through it. You guys actually firing? They don't fire very fast. Oh, do you have radar dampening? Ah, yes. Radar dampening is a special ability that means that there is a maximum range from which it can be shot. So despite these guys being really long range, they actually can't shoot this guy, which is... Retreat range 1500, which is more than the radar dampening on the bats. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen, that they wouldn't actually approach an enemy close enough because of their retreat range, but apparently it is, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm neutering the planet, or that's what it's referred to, which means that I am killing all the guard posts, but I'm ignoring the command station because the command station, if I destroy it, it says here, 15 AI progress if killed or scrapped. I don't want that. It's also another 5 for this warp gate, which is honestly a pretty irrelevant thing because I never destroy them. Technically, you can destroy a warp gate. Technically, you can destroy a warp gate and it will cause... I'm just gonna give it a game. And it will mean that the AI can't send waves at you from this planet, so they can't send regular waves at you launching from this planet. Yeah. This might be useful in some situations, but I usually have defenses on all of my planets. This is the kite flyer used in there. Oh, space planes too, lovely. Well, that's lost everything, but we're going to actually get a reprisal rate for this. Okay, so the Exodian Blade is moving 5 pops. So, yes, I should have probably explained. Hacking causes a bunch of AI units to spawn and attack you in order to try to stop you from hacking. These units, apparently, even at minimum hacking progress, come in at Mark 3, which is another mechanic of this game I haven't talked about. Ships tend to have mark levels. Higher mark levels are more powerful. It's not a very complicated mechanic. And as a... and yes, Mark 3 is reasonably dangerous. So I'm just hanging out. I'm sending a scout here. Scouts are cloaked, so the enemies can't see them, so they can just hang out here and watch these enemies here. I've now got 112 Mark III ships sitting here because of my hacking. And I did get a reprisal wave, which is annoying. The AI in this game is kind of smart. They won't attack you. Well, there's a few types of AI troops. There's the regular waves. They'll come in. They will attempt to kill you. They will do so for 30 seconds, even if they don't think they can win. And then after that 30 seconds, if they don't think they can win, they will try to retreat. The developers basically decided it was too annoying for enemy waves to come in, go, I don't want to do this, and just leave immediately. So they do have a time that they have to attack you for. Then there's threat ships, like what these hacking ones have become. These guys are much smarter. They will basically wait in a clump a little bit away from the wormhole because of warheads, which I also will talk about later. And they will basically wait until the AI can attack you with a force that is too powerful for you to beat. There's also reprisal waves up here. If you lose a ton of troops on an AI world, they will get resources and use them to create an extra wave to send at you beyond the waves they would normally send. Reprisal waves are also bigger than regular waves, and if you lose a lot of troops, they can be much, much larger than regular waves and kill you. And also, it's based on the value of the troops you lose, not the actual number of troops. So certain units, like starships, you really want to avoid losing as much as possible. And that is where this guy comes in. The assault transport is about one of my favourite units. I don't know how much people like it in general, but I find it invaluable. If we just take a look at its stats, if we look at like a regular ship here, it's 1,000, something like 2,000 health. This one has a bit more. They do 96 damage every 12 seconds, or 40 damage every 4 seconds. Fairly small numbers. If we look at these guys, where's the best way? It's probably easiest to look at it here. You can see they do. They have 160,000 health, so they're pretty tough. They also move at speed 256 versus, say, the speed 44 and such that you find down here. 72 for that one. So they're really, really fast. They're really quite tough, and their attack is 240 every 4 seconds, so not that great. But if you load them with more units, they get extra attacks because they're also a transport. And this means that you load your fleet in these and you end up with less attack power, but your fleet's still pretty dangerous in there, and they're also able to move really fast. And in a game that's often about hit and runs, that's really helpful. And it also means that your fleet never dies because they're in a massive armored transport. So you never get, you don't get reprisal waves very much. Oh yes, if all that wasn't enough, they're also cloaked, so they're invisible. So the AI can't see them unless they shoot, or the AI actually has some anti-cloaking.